Hello, and welcome to the University of Utah College of Social Work. Congratulations on getting admitted to the university. We welcome you to the College of Social Work community. Today, we are going to be covering transfer new student orientation. So let's go ahead and begin. We always like to begin our orientations with talking a little bit about the social work mission from the National Association of Social Workers Code of Ethics. It states, the primary mission of the social work profession is to enhance human well-being and help meet the basic needs of all people with particular attention to the needs and empowerment of people who are vulnerable, oppressed, and living in poverty. We like to start off with this particular piece of the social work mission because it gives you a direct insight into what the social work profession is, as well as what the social work curriculum in the bachelor's program is grounded on, social justice work. So if you are really interested in going into a field where you are going to be helping humanity, alleviating the most difficult social issues in our society, then this is going to be a great path for you to take. So is the BSW program at the U of U a right fit for you? Our undergraduate program is a fantastic undergrad option for students interested in helping people, particularly around social justice issues and advocacy and alleviating social problems. Additionally, it's one of the most common pathways that folks take to become a mental health therapist or counselor. It's a really great fit for folks who are interested in doing nonprofit and or non-governmental organizational work in the community. Social work actually complements someone who's going to want to ultimately pursue law because it provides a strong foundation to how society really functions at all levels and can provide a guide in terms of what type of law are you going to pursue. Um, Moreover, it also complements public health and public administration and med school as well, believe it or not. It provides you those strong soft skills that oftentimes you're not gaining when you're taking a bunch of hard science classes and so much more. BSW degree can be a really strong foundation for whatever type of career you are pursuing thereafter or graduate program thereafter. It really just provides a strong set of skills that are unique to working with people, working in communities, and working at an institutional or policy level. So more specifically, the BSW program at the U prepares students for a generalist practice and leads to the social service worker's license in the state of Utah. Our program does have very small class sizes, especially compared to other programs, where it's very interactive and engaging so that folks can really learn in a variety of ways. Moreover, we have a cohort experience. What we mean by that is when folks are admitted to the BSW program, they're either admitted into the online cohort or the campus cohort, where they are pursuing all of their required BSW courses in one of these two manners. Unfortunately, we do not have a hybrid cohort where it's a mix and match of both. So when you are applying, you're having to determine in your application, is it that you want to pursue your BSW fully online or fully in person, where you're coming to campus? And so students go through their classes and often are seeing their peers in several of the classes throughout their time until they finish their degree. Additionally, we have very highly qualified instructors practicing in a range of areas, which brings a range of expertise to the classroom. We have folks who are in child welfare, school social work, doing public policy and research, doing forensic social work, geriatric social work, so working with the elderly. There are so many areas in which our instructors are also practicing social workers that it brings a depth to the classroom and to your learning that is very unique in order to be able to learn how and what social workers really do in the field. So that's a really great opportunity to actually take advantage of because of the small classroom sizes, it affords that type of opportunity. Moreover, the College of Social Work does have the Academic Advising Office, and we also have career advising through our Career and Professional Development Center partners. There's actually a designated social work career coach. Um, and then we do actually offer free academic assistance for our social work classes, which is an additional tutoring support for our students. This doesn't include other courses, but it does include support with any of the social work courses that you're required to do in our program. And though not required as part of the BSW curriculum, we do offer a variety of elective courses that students find to be very interesting, given that they just want to take the class, or even if you're a incoming transfer student that still needs to complete a few elective credits, for example. Our elective courses are great options, but again, not required to take them, but they are there for your learning and an opportunity to learn more about a specific area in social work. So in addition to our BSW program, our college offers a variety of other opportunities for undergraduate students. We also offer the Substance Use Disorder Counselor Certificate, where that allows folks to be able to become a professional counselor working with folks who are dealing with substance use disorder. It is actually the only undergraduate level license that allows you to professionally counsel without having a master's degree. So really great opportunity that folks can pursue while they're doing their bachelor's or even after. Moreover, this program is a in-person evening program. And so that's just something that folks have to consider, especially if they are going to want to do it, but also are interested in pursuing BSW online. Additionally, we have the Social Justice Advocacy Certificate, which really hones in on your community building and community practice and advocacy skills. And it's a really great certificate where you're actually applying the skills that you're learning in the courses in the capstone class of the certificate. Moreover, the BSW program does have a specific career path that folks can pursue. It's the Title IV Child Welfare Career Path. This is a really great opportunity for folks who are really wanting to work in child welfare, family reunification, and more specifically in pursuing a opportunity with the Department of Child and Family Services for the state of Utah. They do provide a generous tuition assistantship for students who pursue this pathway. And as part of your BSW program, you do your practicum, which is what we refer to as the internship. And so you do your practicum with the Department of Child and Family Services in your last semester of the degree. And during that semester, they provide you a stipend as well. So there's some really great financial assistantships, though in return, you commit to working with Utah's Department of Child and Family Services for 18 months immediately after graduation. After that, you both parties have fulfilled their commitment, and the student, and then at that point, alumni is able to go ahead and pursue other avenues, either that be graduate school, a different path for social work, or continuing with child welfare with GCSF or other agencies. So a really, really great opportunity. And it does provide job stability after you graduate and really great opportunities for professional development as a social worker. So one important thing to note about the Title 4E Child Welfare Career Path is that only students admitted into the BSW program can pursue it. You cannot pursue this pathway and apply for it as a pre-BSW. And I know that for transferring the student orientation, we have several students that have also been admitted into the program at the same time as being admitted into the U. And then we have other students who have been admitted to the U as a pre-BSW student. So the pre-BSW transfer students viewing this know that then this is an opportunity that if you're really interested in, you pursue it after you've been admitted into the BSW program. And for those of you who are admitted, be sure to go to the BSW homepage, and on that landing page, you can scroll down a little bit more and you'll see a link to the career path where you can go ahead and follow those steps if this is something you want to pursue, or of course, connect with a social work advisor. Additionally, the BSW program does lead to taking advantage of our advanced standing MSW program. It's only eligible to BSW graduates, and it provides an opportunity to be able to complete your master's degree in one full calendar year. And the program always starts in the summer. And we do have a fully online cohort option, as well as a fully in-person cohort option for our advanced standing program. So this slide and the next one in particular are for transfer students who are coming in as pre-BSW. So those of you who are already admitted into the BSW program as a new incoming transfer student, just hang tight. I'm going to go through the next couple slides, and then the presentation will apply to you as well again. So for pre-BSW transfer students, serving the community is going to, in a social work related setting, is going to be key to preparing you for getting into this program. Having that experience of working with or directly for vulnerable and marginalized communities is so important. The committee wants to make sure that you are not just idealizing what it is to be a social worker and wanting to work on social justice issues, but actually doing that work prior to joining the program. It's also very helpful because it will allow you an opportunity to likely gain some really strong professional recommendations for your application. So the community work that you do does not have to be paid, but it can be paid. If, let's say, for example, you find a part-time job working at a homeless shelter, that's totally fine. Or if you already have a job that pays you pretty well, and instead you're going to be doing volunteer work, volunteering at a shelter is totally fine if we stick with the same example, right? Or maybe instead you volunteer at a food bank, or you work at a after-school program that serves refugees and low-income children, or you volunteer in a classroom where the children have special needs. There are so many opportunities out there for you to be able to do community-related social work to gain that experience. And so if you haven't already, this is going to be a perfect time for you to start looking into that. The university does have a wonderful center called the Benyon Center that serves the campus students, larger community in terms of things of community engagement. One thing to be very mindful when you're thinking about social work related experiences and settings is that social workers love animals and the environment, but for the BSW program, the service has to be with humans. So just kind of keep that in mind as you are thinking about what type of experience do I want to gain in social work related settings. We strongly encourage folks to attend our events. That also is very beneficial to your professional development and preparation for applying to the social work program. Additionally, as you are doing the related human service experience, we recommend that you keep a journal because that's going to be really handy when you need to create your social work related resume for your application. So in the journal, log how many hours a week are you working? How many folks did you work with? What population did you serve? What was the benefit of the service that you provided to that community? These details are going to be really important to creating a strong social work related resume. And by keeping that journal, that's just going to make it a whole lot easier for you to reflect back on and be able to indicate that on your resume. Additionally, in terms of specific courses that are required for program admissions, we require Psychology 1010, General Psychology, Sociology 1010, Introduction to Sociology, Political Science 1100, U.S. National Government, and Social Work 1010. And for our Salt Lake Community College transfer students, you might be in a position to have also had to have completed Social Work 2650. It just depends on when you actually took Social Work 1010, so you can consult with an academic advisor about that, as well as general education. Now, more specifically, two courses, general psychology and US national government. We do accept an AP score of 3 or higher, and then for psychology, also an IB score. So, but they do have to be completed within the last 10 years. Additionally, the general education requirements, it depends on where you are transferring from, and then how much did you transfer with an associate's from within the state of Utah, outside of the state of Utah. Did you just do the general educations? It kind of depends on where you're at, but essentially, the U of U has a set of general education requirements for your bachelor's. You cannot be missing your writing gen ed, nor can you be missing your math QA gen ed. We do prefer that all the general education be completed, but if you are going to be still pinning some gen eds, then that can either be 2 courses specifically within the areas of fine arts, humanities, or sciences. It cannot be in the other areas. And a good plus to know is that when we refer to general education, the U of U does have 2 math gen eds. We are only referring to math QA, quantitative reasoning, not math QB, statistics and logic, because that's going to be embedded in the social work requirement. So when we refer to that, you can always exclude that requirement as the math QB as part of the bundle that we're referring to for general education. So additionally, the BSW application is going to require that students have at minimum a 2.35 cumulative GPA. If you have less than that, you'll not be in a position to be able to apply to the program. You have to wait, and that's where we would suggest, okay, meet with an academic advisor to strategize how to improve that GPA. Again, general education, either completed or in progress at the time of your application. The 4 prerequisite courses that I mentioned earlier can be completed or in progress. Again, those are Psychology 1010, Sociology 1010, Political Science 1100, and Social Work 1010. They all have to have a C or higher and have been completed within the last 10 years at the time of your application. For some of our transfer students, that means having to repeat the course, and there are no exceptions to this C or higher 10 and within the last 10 years. So if you're a little bit concerned about that, that's where meeting with an academic advisor is going to be helpful to be able to determine, do you need to repeat a course potentially? Additionally, as part of your application, you'll be providing transcripts for all higher education institutions you've attended, as well as your current schedule. You also provide a personal statement, 2 to 3 professional recommendations, and a social work related resume. Now, this is not an application workshop, hence why I'm not going over all of this in great detail. Every admission cycle, which is twice a year, fall semester and spring semester, we host application workshops where we go in great detail about all of the admissions criteria and how to really strategize and submit the strongest application possible. The BSW program is increasingly becoming competitive, and not all qualified students actually have gotten admitted now on their first try. So attending the workshop is going to be really helpful for you to get direct insight into what exactly is the BSW admissions committee looking for in a strong candidate. So we do recommend that folks go ahead and attend those. Now, the timeline is that for fall semester, folks are applying for spring, and then for spring semester, folks are applying for fall. We do not have a summer admissions cycle. So if you're coming in as a summer transfer student versus a fall transfer student or a spring, then that's okay. There are still other courses that we can help folks take while they are waiting to be in a position to be able to apply to the program. Moreover, in terms of our research opportunities at the U, research is a very big area of social work. It impacts, the macro level of social work, so that policy level, working at the institutional level to improve different systems and social problems from a larger perspective. So particularly at the College of Social Work, there are 3 research centers that are housed within our college. The Utah Criminal Justice Center is really focused on forensic social work and finding and exploring, as well as researching best practices to improve the Utah criminal justice system. Our Neighbors Helping Neighbors Center is focused a lot more on supporting the elderly population, best practices, research, policy, in terms of supporting our aging population, which are a very vulnerable population due to the various, ailments that elderly folks want to having in later life. So this is a really great opportunity for those of you who want to work with older folks. And then the Center on Mindfulness and Integrative Health Intervention Development. Yes, that's a mouthful, but we always refer to it as CMIND for short. This is a really great a research center that is innovative and creative in terms of using mindfulness practices for pretty severe health ailments. And providing health interventions through mindfulness in research cutting ways that is becoming nationally recognized throughout the United States for the work that is being done. So there's really great research opportunities within the College of Social Work. And then faculty are also doing their own individual research. So even though there's these 3 research centers, let's say, for example, you're interested in looking at youth homelessness, there's a faculty right now working on that type of research. Or you're more interested in wilderness therapy, we have another faculty member who is specializing in that and doing research. So either it be within our research centers or it be individually with one of our faculty, there are really great opportunities where students can really not only just develop their strong research skills, but also foster a mentorship with a faculty member, which is always such a wonderful experience to go through if this is something that you're interested in doing. Now, the university does have the undergraduate research opportunity program, and it does provide funding opportunities that students and faculty research mentors can apply for so that you get paid for your work, given that the research opportunity with the faculty you're interested in doing that with may or may not have a stipend to be able to provide you. So it kind of just depends on each individual situation. But Europe, for sure, is really a great opportunity that the university offers for students to be able to get paid for their research with their faculty, present their research findings, and just develop a strong network of folks who are in the field doing a variety of research. And you don't have to limit your research opportunity to just the faculty in the College of Social Work. It could be in other intersecting disciplines as well. We do have students that will work with gender study faculty or ethnic studies or disability studies. There are so many opportunities that intersect with social work that you can still develop really great applicable skills to this field with other fields. So just keep that in mind, and for folks who are interested in research. So the College of Social Work does have student expectations. It is really important that you know that there is strict attendance policies in social work courses, and missing several classes or online student engagement will impact your grade in the course. Students are expected to participate in classes. This is not one of those areas of study where you can just kind of quietly attend class, but be more of a quiet student. You have to really bring yourself out of your shell if you are more of an introvert, especially in a classroom setting. Moreover, our students are required to maintain a C or higher in all social work courses. If someone obtains less than a C, then you are going to be required to repeat it. Additionally, you have to maintain a 2.35 total GPA for all BSW required courses. If you are interested in going into graduate school, then at minimum, reach for 3.0 GPA each semester. The 3.0 benchmark, I note that because that's what we require for our Masters of Social Work program. So just thinking ahead. Now, thankfully, the majority of our students do really, really well in our program. There are resources available, and so this doesn't tend to be a challenge, as much of a challenging situation for our students. So if you are noticing that you're having difficulty in a class, reach out and we can see how we can connect you to appropriate resources. Moreover, we are a professional school, so professional communication with staff and faculty is expected of students. For example, when you email us, don't short text us in the email, shorthand text us in the email. You want to write a professional email, do a greeting. Don't do, hey, Joe, rather say, you know, dear Dr. Smith. Or Professor Smith. And then you're wanting to provide details in terms of what information you're needing or what assistance you're seeking. And then provide a salutation, right? You're really not wanting to send emails from as if it looks like a text. That's not professional communication. So just keep in mind that it's really, really important, because in the social work field, you are required to have a lot of professional communication with various stakeholders. And so this is just a way to make sure that folks in our program are practicing those skills from the beginning, before they go into the profession of social work. So the next point here is really, really important, you all. When you attend the University of Utah, you are tied to a lot of really important deadlines, policies, and procedures. So it is your responsibility that to stay on top of academic deadlines, and the academic calendar is going to be your best friend in order to be able to do this. You should go ahead and flag the academic calendar page from the registrar's office and be sure to regularly check it. The university is very, very strict with deadlines, policies, and procedures. And so it's important that students become best friends, honestly, with the academic calendar, so that you're not putting yourself in a predicament that can really be very costly or set you back in various kinds of ways. You really want to be also checking your UMail, using your UMail for all communication with staff and faculty. We strongly recommend at least check it twice a week and do not forward it on to your personal email, because if you respond through a personal email, it's coming from a personal email. And there are several offices, ours included, that once you are a University of Utah student, we are only emailing you to your UMail. Um, Moreover, now that you are a University of Utah student, you are tied to FERPA. FERPA is the Federal Education Rights Privacy Act. So if you haven't already, please be sure to set up your FERPA PIN. This is crucial to your ability to be able to speak with staff members across campus about your own academic record. There are several offices on campus that without your FERPA PIN, they cannot speak to you about your own record, ours included. So it's kind of like HIPAA. Your medical record is protected. Now that you're in higher education, your educational record is protected. So make sure to set up your FERPA PIN through your CIS account. Additionally, I had mentioned earlier that we want our students to be successful, however you define success. That we do have some academic requirements for that. So we always hope and encourage our students that if you're encountering an issue or a challenge or a problem in your classes, or you're not doing well because of personal circumstances, there are resources available to you. We are here to help connect you to those resources so that then you can take care of X, Y, and Z concern so that you can do well in your classes. There's a lot of energy, time, effort, and money that goes into completing your graduate degree. And so we want to be sure that our students know that there are resources, both academic and personal, to support you throughout your time here at the University of Utah. And so we hope that folks will not be hesitant in asking either the academic advising office or their instructor for support if you do experience a challenge. And professors want you to succeed. We want you to succeed. So please, folks, don't hesitate to reach out. We're here for you. Now, in terms of helpful tips for registration, depending on when you actually applied to the University of Utah and now are going through the new student orientation transfer steps, all of your classes may not be showing in your degree audit. It depends if you were in progress with courses at the time that you submitted your university application. So it might be that you're seeing something that doesn't look right. You're like, I know I completed my associates. Why doesn't it state it on there? It could be that then just the Office of Admission needs your final official transcript. There also might be situations where students need to have exceptions processed for transfer courses. This is something that you can discuss with your academic advisor for assistance in this area. So for example, if you attended Maricopa Community College, which is not in the state of Utah, and you did take general psychology, that likely might require an exception because it's going to come in with a different subject acronym as well as a different course number. So the system isn't recognizing that that's the exact same class as our psychology 1010. So then that's when we have to process exceptions. So just chat with your academic advisor about that. Additionally, if you have your Associates of Science or Associates of Arts or your interstate passport completed, then in the state of Utah, then you do not have to worry of whether or not you've completed all of your general education courses. There is a Utah State Higher Education Agreement that if you complete one of these things in the state of Utah at a state school, then we accept their general education package for our general education package. If you are an out-of-state student, there are some more intricate things to consider. And so it's not a package for package, but it does cover most of the requirements if you complete your Associates of Science or Associates of Arts. This does not apply to an Associates of Applied Science. So when you actually do register, you can assess that with the academic advisor to determine is it that you are done with your general education requirements. We also recommend that you regularly check your holds and to-dos in your CIS account. This can hinder your ability to be able to register for the following semester. For example, you are going to be required to do a sexual assault prevention course and also provide your final official transcript. If you're proactive about it, you won't get a hold. If you kind of ignore the messages out there or don't submit your final official transcript, you eventually will get a hold and it will not allow you to register for the following semester. Oh, and again, remember to check your U-mail. Our team does send students information about registration dates or program information to your U-mail. So that's going to be really important that you really get used to communicating with staff and faculty at the University of Utah through your U-mail. And then in terms of how registration is going to work for next semester. So for this semester, you're doing it through Transfer New Student Orientation. Next semester will always be based off your designated assigned date and time. At the U, every student is assigned a date and time to be able to register for the following semester, and the academic calendar will always guide you and let you know when does that date go live in your CIS account, so that then therefore in the future on that date and at that time, so long as you have no holds, you can actually register for the following semester. So that's a bit of a transition that you do have to adjust to when you are doing your first semester registration versus your second semester registration. Additionally, permission codes for other departments is siloed here at the University of Utah. We only have access to social work permission codes. We do not have access to permission codes for other departments. So students always have to go to that respective department. Say, for example, you are wanting to take an advanced psychology class and it requires a permission code. You would have to go to the psychology department to request how to obtain a permission code. And typically going to their advising office is the easiest way to find that information. So just keep that in mind because our social work online courses do require permission codes. More details from that in regards to the actual registration part of orientation. But for other departments, you always have to go to their department. So folks, I want to thank you so much for being with us here today. We are so thankful to you for joining us, for being a part of the College of Social Work community. We really, really look forward to supporting you during your journey as you embark in the College of Social Work and at the University of Utah. We're wishing you all the very best of luck in your first semester. And again, thank you.